What is going on, college basketball fans? And today we are starting our Feast Week predictions. We're going to do predictions for at least 3 of the major tournaments for Feast Week, and they are all going to be uploaded today. So be on the lookout. We got the Maui Invitational, the ESPN Invitational, and I think the Battle for Atlantis are the 3 big ones that we are going to do predictions for, all coming out here today. So on these videos, let me know down below who you think are going to win these tournaments. These early season tourneys are very important because I think over the past 5 or 6 years, maybe even longer, the national champion of March Madness has won an early season tournament. It happened last year. UConn won one. The year before that, Kansas won one. The year before that, Baylor won one, and so on. So these are actually more important than you might think, especially one like this when it has so many teams that we believe could be national championship contenders this year, like Kansas, of course. Gonzaga could be a national championship contender this year with the players they have. Purdue definitely can be a national championship contender. Even Tennessee looks pretty good so far this year. And Marquette. So, that could be 5 right there that could possibly, at bare minimum, be Final Four contenders this year. So, this specific tournament is very important whenever we get to March. So, I'm ready to get it started. I just want to say subscribe if you guys are new. Like I said, we're going to have more of these out. We're going to have our power rankings out Monday that we are going to be doing every single Monday. Don't want to miss those. And we're going to have a ton more college basketball content here on the channel. So make sure you guys subscribe, hit that like button. Let me know who you guys think is going to win this Maui Invitational Tournament. And let's start with game 1 because we got Tennessee, who looks really good. Looks like they have broken the curse of being, never being able to get over the hump, really. And they look really good so far this season. But Syracuse, definitely very underrated. Their first year without Jim Boeheim as their head coach since the early 70s. And they're playing amazing. They look great. They got 2 young stud guards in J.J. Starling and Judah Mintz. And this could be my worst or my best take of Feast Week. But I'm going to go out of the gate with these predictions and with an upset because I like to see upsets. Upsets are going to happen in not only March Madness but every single tournament. And like I said, this could be my worst take of Feast Week. But Tennessee is usually a team that you can't trust. Maybe this year is finally different. But I'm going to say right out of the gate, we see an upset. Give me Syracuse over Tennessee in a very close game. Judah Mintz has been on fire to start off the season. This is Syracuse's first real test of the year, though. And Tennessee has some really good guards, and it's not even really Zakai Ziegler and Vescovi like we usually think it is. Like, they got Josiah Jordan-James, they got Net, I think is how you pronounce his last name, but he's playing amazing, averaging almost 20 points a game. They have a solid squad on their team and a lot of really good guards, so it's not going to be an easy task, especially because Tennessee is such a very good defensive team. I think it's going to be low scoring. I think Syracuse can get it done in a close one, and I'm going to take them to move on to round 2. And just an amazing game to open it up. Big time upside. Like I said, could be my worst take, could be my best take of Feast Week, and we're doing it right out of the gate. I love it. Okay, next up, we got Purdue versus Gonzaga. This is probably the hardest game to pick in round 1 of this tournament. I mean, both these teams are pretty good, and they honestly match up really, really well together. I think Gonzaga probably has the best guard in this game in Ryan Nembhard. He is a very good facilitator. And with Gonzaga's bigs, I'm not just talking about Graham Ike, but also Antoine Watson and also Ben Gray off the bench. I really do think they have the size to kind of compete with Zach Edey on this Purdue team. But the thing about Purdue, they also have Trey Kaufman-Renn. They got Caleb Furst. They have some other big men on that team that are going to be able to get some boards and take some action there too. I think this game is going to be dependent on Purdue's guards. How much better has Fletcher Lawyer and Braden Smith really gotten? Ethan Morton. How much better have these guards gotten on Purdue since last season? Because if they can take that step, that stride that they need them to, this Purdue team could win this Maui Invitational and they could be national championship contenders. I am going to go with Purdue to win this game. I feel more comfortable with them and their depth. I really do think Ryan Nembhard is the best guard in this game, but after that, I don't really trust a lot of Gonzaga's guards, and I think Purdue has the better overall team. But this is going to be an absolute classic, must-watch game. Mark Few versus Matt Painter. You're going to want to see this one. This Maui Invitational is absolutely stacked. So give me Purdue in that one to face Syracuse in round number 2. Next up, we got Kansas versus Chaminade? I mean, okay, I guess, you just throw Chaminade in there. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that university's name correctly. I'm probably not, and you guys will let me know down below in the comment section. But this should be a slaughter. As much as I would like to see them upset Kansas, it would be maybe a little bit too much of a stretch to pick them to beat Kansas. I'd love to see it, but Kansas should win this one by at least 25. Too good. Hunter Dickinson has been playing like player of the year. He had a 2020 game against Kentucky, and this Kansas team just looks like they know how to win. They've already been tested early against what looks to be a pretty good Kentucky team. So I really like this Kansas team. I think Dejon Harris is probably one of the best point guards in the league. Yeah, he doesn't score much, but when they need him to, I think he even said in an interview, yeah, I didn't score, but when this team needs me to score, I'm going to score. And that's exactly what he did against Kentucky. I mean, every three he shot, it went in. Like, when they need him to score, he will score. But he is, I think, right now, the best facilitator in college basketball. And we're about to talk about another one in game number 4 because we have Marquette and Tyler Kolek. He is another one of the best facilitators in college basketball. And I am going to take Marquette in this game pretty easily over UCLA. As much as I do like Adim Bona on UCLA, and I do think that they are a well-coached team. They're still going to be pretty good. I still think UCLA is probably a lower seed March Madness team. They just don't have the talent that they have had over the past couple of years, and I think this game is going to be competitive. I mean, we saw Marquette be in a competitive game with Illinois. Of course, that game was on the road. I think this is going to be within single digits throughout the entire game. Maybe Marquette pulls away in the end, but I do think Marquette does win this game either way, whether it is close or, they win by a little bit more than 10. I like Marquette in this game. I love their guards, Tyler Koa, Cam Jones, Stevie Mitchell, and they just have a solid squad. I think Shaka Smart is going to be able to lead this team into round 2 against Kansas, which will be an absolute banger of a game. I need to see that in round 2. Yes, please. Next up, let's go to round 2. We got Syracuse after a big time upset over Tennessee in my predictions. Let's hope that holds true, but I'm sure you guys will let me know about it whenever Tennessee destroys Syracuse ultimately. But, who knows? Judamens could have a huge game, pull it off. I could see it happening. Anything can happen in college basketball. Let's have some fun with these predictions. Syracuse going up against Purdue. I just don't think that Syracuse has the size to go up against Purdue in this game. I really do like Syracuse's young guards. Not too huge on, their big men play. If they had Jesse Edwards, if he did not transfer over to West Virginia, it could be a different story. They could have had a big-time defensive center down low who also has a post game as well. I still think Syracuse, they could be competitive in this game, but I think Purdue pulls away and they head on to the Maui Championship game. Then we got Kansas versus Marquette in an absolute banger of a matchup. Two of the best point guards in college basketball, Dejon Harris Jr. going up against Tyler Kolek. I need to see this matchup. It would absolutely feed some families. Kansas, Marquette. I honestly do not know who I want to go with in this matchup. I think I'm going to go with Kansas. I think I trust them a little bit more. I think Kevin McCullar, I think Bill Self is the best head coach in college basketball right now. He knows how to lead this team to win games, especially Dejon Harris, who has been on a national championship team. He knows how to win games. Hunter Dickinson, he wants it, man. And honestly, Marquette, yeah, they have some good bigs like Iggy, but I don't know if they have a guy who is going to be able to stop Hunter Dickinson, especially the way that he can stretch out the floor and hit the three. I think that's going to be a mismatch problem for this Marquette team, and I'm going to have Kansas move on to the championship game, and I will go through the loser bracket as well after I tell you guys who my champion is, because that's what most of you guys want to see at first. So we have our championship matchup, and it is between Purdue and Kansas, and this is going to be a fantastic matchup. I mean, Zach Edey versus Hunter Dickinson. Yes, please. Let's see how these young Purdue guards, these sophomore guards, Fletcher Loyer, Braden Smith, do against one of the best point guards, one of the best facilitators in the country, in Dejon Harris. Kevin McCullar, is that going to be a size matchup? He's a very good rebounding wing. I think that could be a little bit of a size matchup for Purdue. They'll probably put a guy like Mason Gillis on him, which, I think matches up pretty well. Like these two teams just match up really well, and I would love to see this matchup just from like a matchup standpoint, like how good these teams actually are, which team is the actual better team, because they match up so well against each other. And I think at this point it would be kind of, I don't know, it would kind of be shocking to me to try to pick Purdue over Kansas. I'm going to take Kansas. I think they're the better coach team. I think that they have a lot of studs on their team. I think guys like Nick Timberlake haven't even had that big of a role yet this season. I like to see him off the bench get a bigger role, because I do think he is a really good stud player. Marco Jackson is yet to get going on this Kansas team as well. Like, they have some really solid players on this team, and I'm going to take Kansas to win the Maui Invitational this season. Let me know who you guys think is going to win it down below in the comment section. Real quick, I'll go through my loser bracket. So we have Tennessee versus Gonzaga in a loser's bracket matchup. That would be super fun to watch. And honestly, I don't know who I would have winning that matchup. I think I would lean Tennessee. But that would be a fantastic game, especially for a loser's bracket game. That's how you know how stacked the Maui Invitational is. You're getting Tennessee and Gonzaga in the loser's bracket. Come on now. I'll take Tennessee in that matchup. And then we got UCLA versus Chaminade. Give me UCLA. And then we got UCLA versus Tennessee. I'm going to take Tennessee to win out in the loser's bracket. And then in our third and fourth place game, we'll have Marquette versus Syracuse. I'll probably take Marquette in that game. I think, as good as J.J. Starling and Judah Mintz are, you're going up against some veteran point guards in Cam Jones, Stevie Mitchell, Tyler Kolek, and I like Iggy down low in that matchup as well against Syracuse. That's going to be a tough, gritty battle. Syracuse is going to show some heart, but I'm going to take Marquette to get the third place win. So let me know who you guys have in the Maui Invitational. Like I said, we got the ESPN Invitational and also the Battle for Atlantis videos also coming out the same day here on Sunday. We got our first Power 35 rankings coming out on Monday, which will be tomorrow, and that's going to be coming out every Monday here on this channel as well. We're going to have our hot takes video that should be out Tuesday or Wednesday, so make sure you guys go get in your hot takes on the community page by then. And we're back, baby. We're doing all kinds of college basketball content, so make sure you guys subscribe. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching.